And one thing they've been doing is moving guys around, giving them different opportunities. Well, much was made about Emmanuel Forbes possibly catching punts. You cannot have that young man catching punts. There's a non-zero chance
If
he would
he's
get.
there just to catch him and not do anything else, possibly, because I don't want to see him get hit.
Nah, man, not in the open field with a gunner coming down. No,
No,
I'm out on that. Check, please.
Not the gunners I'm worried about. I'm worried about one of them damn linebackers who catch him.
And dude, any of them. Yes. I'm just whatever you're worried about, I say yes to.
But I tip my hat to them because you know what they're doing? This is the time they're finding out what people really can do when you're supposed to. We were worried about position flex during a season when they couldn't do the job that they were drafted to do very well. You worried about them playing another position. At least this dude right now is finding out.
Or converting them.
He's finding out this offseason what everybody has a possibility of doing. And if they have, a unique talent, they're trying to find that out. So when the season starts, you're not trying to figure it out anymore. You hit the ground running.
What do we know about Jamin Davis besides a propensity to drive too fast?
He's fast. He's athletic.
Fast. He's athletic. I don't know at all that he's going to be able to put his hand in the dirt and rush the passer. I don't know that that's going to work. But one thing this defense is going to try to do is get a lot of people on the field that are fast and athletic and violent.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps if you get this, big bowl of people that are fast and athletic and violent, and you put them in some different positions, maybe that will net good results.
Didn't Jamin last year have a sack or two because they decided to rush him a few times?
I believe.
And I would think that if they saw something of that level, they say, okay, let's see if how good he really is at it. Once he did something well last year, we didn't see it again. And now he's in a position where you have a legitimate middle linebacker.
He had 3 sacks last year, 3 sacks the year before.
So you have a legitimate middle linebacker, and you can allow him to use his athleticism if you're smart enough to go outside of your scheme.
They're trying Jamin as a pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are going to get this a little twisted. That becomes his primary focus. I think his primary focus is still at linebacker.
Did you not see the guy that they just? And I'm not comparing, but people need to see. You saw they use Micah Parsons.
Sure.
All over the field, and if Jamin Davis have that ability, let's see what he can do.
Right. Let's see if he can be a good pass rusher. I don't know that he needs his hand in the dirt on 3rd and 4, but if you can send him hot on from a look they're not expecting. But Brian, for years and years and years, you have talked about coach the whole 53, don't just coach the 22.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders defensive coordinator Joe Whitt yesterday.
We don't have 11 starters, okay? You're going to put this down, so don't ask me who's starting here. We have 17 to 18 guys. We're going to go out there. We're going to roll a deep crew and to go out there and whip people, okay? So we don't have 11 guys. We have many personnel groups, and now can they own those positions when we put them in there? So when that comes, don't ask me about who's starting, please.
Like it.
I thought you might like that.
But this is the reason I like that because, people like to walk up to you and ask you, do you start? What position you played? All that type of crap. When there are guys that don't start that may get more time than the guy that actually starts the game. You know what I mean? But the fan base and the media a lot, we promote, just started. Who's starting? Who's starting? Who's starting? As Coach Thompson would say, it's not about who starts. Who the hell you see at the end of the game? The person that the coach trusts the most. You know what I mean? And I think that is the thing where he's basically saying, we're going to have guys rolling. But if somebody gets hot, they're not coming off that damn field till they get tired. And that's what you need to do.
I don't know if it was the advent of social media. This is probably going on way prior to that because you still had headlines and actual newspapers and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I put some of that on the media that ask these questions of starting and because you're trying to get answers, but you're also trying to create moments of virality or something. I don't know, but the head specific to the starter thing, to your point, Brian, The head coach has already addressed what happens in May is not about a depth chart. Like, you'll see that once we get to August, right? And you probably won't even really see it until like that second preseason game. Like, they'll have to put out a depth chart for the first preseason game against the Jets. But the closest we'll probably see a real what this thing's going to look like is that second preseason game in Miami.
Yeah.
But defensively, especially, offense is one thing, because if things go well offensively, 6 dudes play every snap of the entire season.
Yeah. O-lineman.
The O-lineman, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, if everything goes well, you got 6 dudes that never leave the field offensively. Defense is never going to be that. Like, a healthy defense, you've got a dime package, you've got a nickel package, you've got a goal line package, you've got Dan Quinn talked about this yesterday. We like to play 3 safeties a lot. There's other time, like, I mean, just do the math. What do you you loved when they rolled out that 5-man front?
Yeah,
right. Like, that's another defensive line.
Defense, you can't use it all the time,
right?
Shock them,
right? Defensively, you're gonna be playing 18 people, right?
Yeah.
And I think we get and dude, it's like when people get super caught up in the base defense. Is it a 3-4 or a 4-3? They play base like maybe
they
a
may
third
play
of the
both
time.
of them. But the thing I look for is, like,
I just love the attitude about
what Whitt just told you. See, like, I always talk about lazy media sometimes. He just told you how to get questions out now. Instead of asking who's starting, I want to know who's in your 10 to 18. Who is the person that you came in here not knowing, and that person has shown you enough to where he could possibly be in the 18? They give you the information of what to ask. We seem to have questions.
I wonder if it's not the rookie from Washington.
I've been in D.C. for 30-some years, bro. And you know what? There are people that's been in the media a long time. And every time they get up to ask a question, I could probably ask a question for them before they ask it. Because they ask the same damn question all the time. And it's been for years, not just months, but for years. But that is, you got to learn to, like, go along with, this man is telling you, I'm different, we're different, ask different questions. And then I guarantee you the fans, they'll learn a lot more. They get more information.
I mean, defensively last year, I don't even want to go that far down the list, but you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 players played at least 30% of the snaps. And Mayo's outside of that at 29.99.
Round it up. He's in it.
And that includes 2 guys that got traded away.
Yeah.
But then other guys started playing. And there's injuries. Like, a lot of dudes are going to play a lot. And
eventually, if this team is as good as we all hope and expect it to be, it's not going to be 22 guys playing. It's going to be about 35 guys playing consistently. I'm talking about just offensive defense. I'm not much putting special teams in it right now. It'll be about 35 guys, because what happens is when your team gets much better, your starters are so damn, they're going to go out there and just ball out.
What I like the attitude.
Yeah, but they'll leave it all on the field, and guess what? You're going to have backups that can go in there, and you don't have that big of a drop-off.